When the convicted murderer Dave Shepard took the stand at his best friend Mike Dixon's trial, he was facing the victim's family, the jury, but perhaps most poignantly, his 3 daughters, Rachel, Abigail, and Haley. And they are not here to defend their father. You were in that courtroom to get closure.
We were there more in support of the Sonnier family.
Right.
Yes. Our heart was broken for them.
Shepard's daughters saying their father is a murderer.
And do you think that Mike Dixon paid your father to kill Dr. Sonnier?
Yes. Yes.
But on the stand, a shocking twist nobody saw coming.
Shepard himself has basically denied all of his previous testimony.
Shepard's confession was expected to put Mike Dixon away. This is what he said.
They said, well, just go behind him when he's not paying attention, hit him with a board. I said, you could probably kill him. And dog went like that. We'll talk about that later.
But in the courtroom, he suddenly changes his story and says Mike Dixon never asked him to kill Sonnier, letting his friend completely off the hook.
You begin to question him. What happens?
Well, he completely digressed from what his statement was to law enforcement and the fact that Mike Dixon didn't have any involvement in this deal.
The veteran prosecutor, blindsided.
What's going through your mind?
Okay, game on.
In that moment, I've never hated anyone more than I've hated him in my entire life.
The Shepard daughters, also watching, are embarrassed and ashamed.
It was cowardly.
I mean, he has a chance to make it right, and he completely ruined it.
Why do you think he did that?
He was trying to help out his buddy.
The girls, compelled to do something extraordinary. They apologize to the Sonnier family for what their father has done.
What did you say to them?
We are so sorry for what he has done to you and what he's continuing to do to you.
And after Shepard changes his story, back in jail, his daughters confront him. It's a rare and raw look at a fractured family.
But Daddy, you didn't tell the truth.
I did.
You didn't say anything. You just kept saying that you wouldn't tell them.
But I did. But
Why didn't you tell? No, you didn't, Dad. You said, I plead the fifth. I'm not going to answer that. No part of this is right. None of it will ever be right.
there's nothing I could do.
No matter what you do.
They think I'm some kind of a monster.
You've made yourself a monster, Dad.
I mean, and you were literally breaking down in tears.
It was frustrating. I felt like I was scolding a child. Like, I just want you to answer my question, and then you can go back to timeout.
But the damage was done. If Shepard hoped to free his friend, it works. The case ends in a mistrial.
The only reason for the hung jury was David Shepard's testimony.
Regardless, DA Matt Powell is undeterred.
Matt Powell comes into the room where we're standing, and without blinking, he says, we are going to get this guy. We're going to do this again. Don't you worry. I've got you. And that's all I needed to hear.
A second trial is scheduled, delaying a homecoming for Andrew Dixon's father, who once lived in this big Texas spread with a canyon as his backyard.
You look so happy.
He was a good dad. He did dad things, you know, kind of American dream kind of stuff.
But that dream was over. The nightmare truth is Andrew's father is facing capital murder charges, and the second trial begins.
Amarillo Dr. Michael Dixon is back on trial.
And this time around, prosecutor Matt Powell has a new witness.
The number one most important thing from this second trial was the unbelievably courageous testimony of Haley Shepard.